Greetings and welcome to the Beers and Bodyslams Podcast. Sitting across from me, the man that always prays to the porcelain gods, Mr. Fluffy.
I never pray to the porcelain god. I stand over it and show it my greatness. And sitting across from me, he is the hops to my barley, good old JB.
And if you haven't noticed by now, there's a certain someone that's missing this week. Good old Irish.
He is Captain Irish this week.
Captain Irish, that's right. He is floating on water as we speak. And
hopefully on a boat.
Giving him hell in the Caribbean.
That's right.
Somewhere drinking it up.
Drinking away.
The gang will be back together next week.
That's right.
So this week it's just me and Mr. Fluffy. I have a good show for you guys. Got a pretty good beer. Interesting rant about Raw this week.
At both shows, actually.
I'm sure we'll go off topic a couple of times or two. We'll do all that and much more when we come right
back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Bodyslams Podcast.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
With your host, Mr. Fluffy.
Hello, ladies.
Good old JB.
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
And the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-F-T.
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, the Stone Cold said so.
All right, Fluffy, tell the good folks what we're drinking today.
We are drinking from Kentucky Brewing. We are drinking their Peach Barrel Wheat Ale. It's a beer I've had before, but I enjoy it. It's for the Kentuckies. I will say this: I've had a lot of the Kentucky barrel stuff. It's a lot of their brews. We've had a couple on the show. I've had them elsewhere.
Yeah,
this is the lightest in the series that I've had.
Yeah.
But it's the most flavorful in that you can tell what it is. But sometimes their stuff is really strong bourbon-wise, and you loses some things.
Yeah.
This is peach.
Yes.
Like, there's no question about it.
I'm a wheat beer guy, actually. So I saw the peach. I've had a couple of the Kentucky bourbons.
Yeah, they're good.
So I figured it would be a good one for me to try. Yeah. It's my first time, and I really like it.
And you can taste the bourbon.
It again. Yeah,
and you can taste the bourbon.
You get that in the peach right away.
Yeah.
And it has a mellow finish, though, which I enjoy. So
this would be a good, we always talk about like what to have it with. This would be a good beer with like chicken. Or even seafood, because it's so light that you would be able to still pick up whatever you're having, like pasta. This would be good with pasta.
Yeah, this is a good one. Even pork.
Yeah, even pork
with the peach.
Yeah. This is a good summer beer too. Like we're getting a little colder weather, but this is a good sort of, if it's a little warm out, it's a good beer. So thank you so much. I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we go along. But I like it a lot.
Yes, I enjoy it. I'll be purchasing a 4-pack tomorrow.
So we're going to talk about Raw and Smackdown as normal. I'm going to start off the show by saying right away, neither show was impressive.
Not really.
I want to go off on a rant on both of them real fast. And I want to bring up, because originally it was in my notes for Raw, and it kind of became both shows. I don't know if it was they had talent traveling and going places. I don't know if they didn't want people in the building just because they were giving people weeks off for the holidays.
Yeah, they're getting ready to
There was a lot of video segments this week.
Was.
A
time filler.
Yeah. And every match went like 3 segments.
Yeah.
And it was just like the whole shows was just like, okay, here's a match that goes 3 segments. Okay, here's a video package that takes up an entire segment. Okay, here's another 3-segment match. You're like, wait a minute. In 3 hours on Raw, we had like 4 matches. On SmackDown, I think we had 2 or 3.
It's times like that I'm glad I DVR the shows.
Yep.
Because I literally got done with Raw in an hour.
Yeah. Because you fast forward the videos. Because
I can't watch all of this. Yeah.
Because all the video packages, the problem with the video packages is they are not targeted towards you and I.
No.
As in we watch every week. We're the hardcore fan. We know what's going on. They're totally aimed at the casual guy that comes in for a week, disappears for 2 weeks, and comes back again.
Catch him up.
Yeah, trying to catch him up. So, But let's go ahead and talk about Raw. Jason Jordan has an amount of heat on him from the crowd
Nuclear.
that I did not expect. He just shows his music plays and the entire crowd boos.
He's the new Roman Reigns.
Oh wow, it is bad.
And it's not good heat. Like they genuinely don't like him for whatever reason. What I will say is he's put on some hell of matches.
Oh yeah.
He's fought Roman twice, Cena, a couple other matches I can remember. He's putting on good matches. He's actually playing this whiny kid.
He's playing the tweener, which we know he's going to go full heel eventually.
Yeah,
he's turning on Kurt.
Yeah, of course. He's playing it up. Playing that guilt against Kurt.
Yeah.
Come on, Dad, give me a shot.
Oh yeah.
This, that, and the other. I can do it. You see that coming, but oh my goodness, the nuclear heat on him right now is massive. And they can use it to their advantage, to be honest with you.
Well, and then you're right. He is doing really well. We had him want to take on Roman. Roman wants Joe. Even Roman is giving him heat in that Roman's comment of, you need to step up and take it and not ask for it. I love that.
Yeah.
And that got the crowd going.
Yeah.
But then he pays off because that belly to belly he gave to Roman when he spun Roman around and threw him.
Yeah.
Number one, that's impressive because Roman is not a small individual.
No, he's not.
And he heaved him across the ring.
Yeah, he did.
With a quote unquote bad knee.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was, and you're right, they had a solid match. That match for the Intercontinental title, that was a really nice match.
He's getting more comfortable talking.
Yeah.
It's just he has this nasally voice that annoys people. So like as soon as he opens his mouth, people are like, just stop talking.
Well, again, he had a great my favorite moment of the match though was when he gave Roman the double Northern Lights suplex.
Yeah.
He hit it once, then rolled through and came back again.
Yeah.
That's just athletic as hell. Like that's that moment where you're like, that's the kind of clip you show the people that go, they're not really athletes. No.
Yeah,
no.
well,
You watch
he has
him.
the amateur background to back it up. So there aren't many with the wrestling background collegiately and the record that he has. So in the ring, he can go. His success long term will be tied to his character development and him getting more comfortable on the mic. And like I said last week, he could benefit from some acting classes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And then if he can pull that off, a year or two, he has. Like I said, he has the potential to be a monster heel. If they do it right.
He pushed Roman.
Yeah.
Roman, that was not an easy match for Roman. I mean, you could see it. Roman had to work to win that match in the story. It was great.
Yeah.
This is where my problem comes in. After the match, we see again Jordan back with Kurt. He gets attacked by Joe, which did you see the Twitter shot that Joe took at him?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. It's good. The first 50 minutes of the show, and I paused my DVR when Jason Jordan finally went off the air. The first 50 minutes of the show involved Jason Jordan. That is Cena numbers.
That's unprecedented.
and I'm not even saying it involved Roman. It did involve Roman. It involved, at some point at the entire time, Jason Jordan. That's a lot. That's Cena numbers that we complain about Cena. So the shot I want to tell you about, and you can make your comment, is the picture of Kurt laying over Jason that WWE released as a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Joe grabbed it and set it up, and the comedy caption he put on it was, "I don't want to go to school today, Dad." Like he was waking him up.
Wow.
It was awesome.
I don't think I followed Joe.
Oh, it was good.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, it was great. But it was literally just like, "I don't want to go to school today, Dad."
That's
it was
awesome.
Great. It was awesome. But that's a lot, though. That's a lot of time.
That's the classic case, and that's why people are going to start not liking him because they're going to feel like he's forced down your throat. You know what I mean?
Like Roman was.
Yeah. So he's taking that lead heel heat role from Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
First time in probably a year, Roman actually got cheered more than he got booed.
Oh, yeah.
So that was interesting.
The Shield reunion has helped Roman a lot, though.
Yeah.
He has definitely re-engaged with the audience in a way that I didn't expect.
That, and I just think people are starting to appreciate what he can do.
Because he's getting better in the ring.
Yeah. People are starting to see, what Vince saw in him now that, he's established himself. people are starting to come around.
And if you go back and listen to our old shows, we never bashed on him as much as other people have.
I was always a fan. I
We
just
were
felt
always-
like he
yeah.
was getting
forced.
too much too soon.
Yeah.
But I always thought he had the potential.
Yeah, his matches were great. We've always said if he has somebody in there who can call a match, he's good. And he's getting better at having his own matches. I mean, his matches with like Cena and Orton and The Miz. I mean, he's had some incredible matches out there. But, you know, it's...
Even he said Monday, he's 7 years in.
Yeah.
It doesn't even seem like it's been that long. So, I mean, he's the experienced one now.
Yeah.
You know, now that Cena's transitioned out and Undertaker's gone and, you know, as far as WWE, he's the experienced one, you know, on that roster.
And the Undertaker win, when he beat the Undertaker, that didn't help his heat.
Oh, no.
And people have gotten past that a little bit now that they've accepted the fact that he is around.
Except when he says it's my yard, then they remember. Then they all come back to that. So.
And that's the thing is he dropped that gimmick too, and that helps too. Yeah, that helped. You know, in the whole "I'm not a guy, I'm the guy," that whole thing. You know those arrogant moves, especially when you're trying to be a face, don't work.
They were trying to make him a tweener,
yeah,
like Cena. As far as getting reaction, a tweener reaction.
Yeah.
But I think now, like I said, that Shield reunion, I don't know if that was done purposely to kind of get some of that heel heat off of him.
I think it was for all three of them, really.
Yeah.
I think it benefited all three. I think it's the three guys that were, I don't want to say floundering.
I think Dean was floundering.
I think Dean was definitely floundering.
Roman was still in the main events. He didn't need the Shield reunion.
Okay, he was in the main event, but didn't have the crowd support. And
either way, he didn't need it.
And Seth was having the same problem as they weren't connecting with the audience.
He was the one, he was having issues.
But the three of them together,
well, it's
all
money,
clicked.
It's money, yeah.
But I will say this: you're right, though.
T-shirt, by the way.
I will say this with the Dean thing. I'm wondering if the Shield breaks up again. If he'll
definitely be the one to turn.
No. I don't know if he'll turn. I wonder if he'll be a future Endeavor event. He'll be the first one to go. I don't think he's long term. Out of all three of them, if I had to pick one of them,
out of the three of them,
yeah, I think Roman and Seth are definitely here for the long haul.
Yeah,
it's Dean. I'm not completely convinced
because he's not a guy that can carry the brand.
No,
as a solo, he could be a good mid carder.
Yeah, he needs to get rid of the lunatic fringe thing. He needs to come up with something new.
He needs a little tweak.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with him when he comes back.
So then we had Paige's return to the ring for the first time in, I forget how long they said. Over a year. Actually, more. Yeah, way over a year.
Her and Del Rio broke up, by the way. Side note.
Yeah. Shocker.
Paige, if you're listening. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Paige, if you're listening, you want to come on the show and talk about it, we will gladly. We have a seat for you. We would love to have you on the show. And Del Rio. If you would like to come and tell your side of the story, we have a seat for you. We'll Skype you in. We're fine. That was a slower match than I expected, though.
Kind of working her way back.
Yeah, Paige was not. You could tell she was maybe about a step behind. Yeah,
getting her timing back,
and Sasha suffered because of it. Because you tell Sasha wanted to do things, and Paige was just sort of a little.
It's going to take her a couple months to get back into the feel of
and this is what other wrestlers have talked about is because I know Paige worked a lot in the Performance Center.
It's not the same.
Exactly. And it's just like professional sports, just like football. You know, guys talk about practice is not the game.
Yeah, you can't simulate that.
Exactly. And it's so hard for these guys. They can go have a quote unquote match at the Performance Center.
Yeah.
But once you're in front of the crowd and the adrenaline's going and the TV cameras are there and everything's moving, it's a completely different experience. So yeah. But I could see glimmers of Paige there. That
she'll be fine. Yeah. And putting her against a Sasha, somebody strong for her to measure herself against.
Yeah.
Whereas if she were to fight Alicia Fox or somebody that doesn't really get the TV time, it may have slowed her down even more.
Yeah.
And her development coming back, but putting her in there with Sasha, it's like this is the speed that we're looking for. This is the pace, and so she'll be fine. Yeah. I'm not worried about Paige.
I think
What do you feel about the group, though?
I don't like the name Absolution.
Yeah.
Okay, and I kind of had that in the notes for SmackDown. We can talk about it now. You know, we had 2-3 girl groups come in. I'm more excited about the Riot Squad than I am Absolution. I think that group over there, between who they can fight and what potential they have, is going to be more fun because I don't see Absolution being a long-term thing. I think Paige will dump those two really quickly.
Once she gets what she wants, yeah.
Exactly. And then I think those two will flounder very quickly. Does that
I can see
sense?
that.
I think Sonya especially. I think Mandy has a chance just because of her look.
Yeah.
But Sonya, I don't see her long term. I think she'll flounder very quickly, and she'll become an Alicia Fox, or she'll just sort of be there, but you'll see her pop up every couple weeks just to take on the next great woman, and then she'll go lose.
Yeah.
You know
who this really hurts is Bayley.
Oh yeah, because Bayley's getting shuffled further and further back.
Like just where she came from, being on carrying the NXT Women's Division before Asuka, and where she is now is like a Mickey James. She's like a side.
She's Sasha's lackey.
Yeah,
she's become Sasha's lackey in this war.
But she's just like an afterthought.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like Mickey James and Bayley. You guys are the sideshow to Sasha.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where Alexa fits in all this. Like who's going after the title?
Well, that's the thing
what are we doing here?
I did like what they did with her this week of having her do a commentary during that match. And basically saying that.
Yeah.
Because right now you theoretically have, I look at it this way, they have two potential contenders for that title in Paige and Asuka.
Yeah.
Those are the two people I think they're grooming for.
Oh, yeah.
They're both eventually going to hold it. There's no way Paige came back with not going to be able to hold that belt. And Asuka clearly is going to hold that belt. So it's interesting to see how they roll this and where we go. I think, Alexa is going to hold this belt. I think she's going to hold the belt till WrestleMania. I don't think any of them are ready yet to take that spot.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to build towards that.
Yeah.
Plus, if the rumor is correct that we're going to have a women's Royal Rumble match, having Alexa be champion and having a Raw woman win that, and then finally going, look, I finally proven I'm coming after you. Like an Asuka winning that match is going to send her all the way. Yeah. And then you have the 2 months to build up to WrestleMania. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I feel horrible for Nia Jax. She's now in a romance angle with Enzo Amore.
How you doing?
That's where we're going with that.
Did you see her braids? What were the braids in her hair?
I don't know. But literally, she's in a romance angle with Enzo Amore.
Yeah. Which is like the death knell.
Like, what in the world did she do
I don't know.
to deserve that?
They have nothing for her?
She's actually going to be on 205 Live.
I know
once this angle kicks into gear.
Oh, I know she will.
And
she'll be at Enzo's side.
I think I don't know if they're trying to keep her away from Asuka.
Which makes no sense because, honestly, I'd rather see Asuka and her go at it. I know Asuka's going to win, but a monster war between those two would build Asuka really well.
That's all I've been calling for.
Yeah.
But now, I'm sure you heard the news today that Ronda officially signed.
Yep.
So
it's
about to get interesting.
Oh, it is. Elias Sampson, or Elias, had the line of the week, in my opinion.
Elias.
When he said to Kurt Angle, don't let your bias to your bastard son be your downfall. I was like,
exactly.
Oh, that was snappy writing. He delivered it perfectly.
Yeah.
Every week he impresses me more and more.
Yep.
I love him more and more. Then he comes out to wrestle somebody, and it's Strowman.
So I saw that coming.
Yeah, it was
some competition.
But that was fine. What came out of that was next week Kane's going to challenge Strowman to something. Like it's going to be some kind of gimmick match, I'm assuming.
Let's just have the Inferno match and get it over with.
Now, next week's holiday week and WWE week. So it's weird to see what they do because that's going to kick off, something big for them.
Santa and the Elf match or something.
Oh, please don't.
Stupid.
God, don't.
They'll do that with the women.
Yeah. Next up, we had Asuka come out and take on Alicia Fox. Okay, the only thing that came out of that was interesting was once again, Absolution comes out and Asuka backs away. Which I'm assuming we're setting up Asuka versus Paige. This is the idea, and I'm assuming they're going to use that to make a number one contender for Alexa in some way.
Possibly.
But it's interesting that they're booking Asuka this way, that she's the one backing away. And even this week, they gave clues. And I always listen to, especially Corey. Yeah. Corey is the one you listen to now. I listen to the most.
Yeah.
And he said, She's smart. She knows she's outnumbered. She's being strategic, which is something that Asuka didn't do in NXT. Asuka was always straightforward, attack.
Well, she didn't have groups going for her like that, did she?
No, but even then, she would take on whoever didn't care.
Yeah.
But she's they're playing the idea that Asuka's being smarter now, and I like that. But what was fun about it was Paige saying to Alicia, "You're my friend." But Mandy and Sonya don't feel that way.
Yeah. I like you, but I don't like
you.
They don't share that sentiment.
The cute little look in her face.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me.
It's going to hurt really bad when they kick your ass in a second.
Yeah, I don't. The jury's for me still. I don't know Sonya, and I don't even know the little girl's name, to be honest with you.
Mandy did not have a lot of time. Neither of them had a lot of time in NXT.
So, yeah, I was like, I don't have an opinion one way or the other yet. And I agree with you. I do think the Riot Squad has more potential.
Yep.
Liv Morgan, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, it's not a long-term group. I say it maybe going to Mania.
Yeah.
And then Paige doing her own thing after that once she gets back in full swing.
Yeah. So, all right. So, the big moment of the week.
There was one?
There was. Bray Wyatt's giving his promo, and he is interrupted by the woken Matt Hardy.
Yes.
The battle of the promos and the laugh.
The laugh kind of got me.
Oh, come on. That was awesome.
It kind of threw me. I was just like, look, after the first time, it was funny, but then they kept doing back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But that whole, oh my God, when Matt's, he's got the full accent.
Oh yeah, he's
doing the delete
now.
It's it's woken, not broken.
Yeah.
It's woken, which is on their part again, on the WWE's part. This is where they're brilliant.
Yeah,
they change one letter and go, oh look, no, you're talking about broken Matt Hardy. We've got woken Matt Hardy. You can't copyright anything else. Have a nice day.
Exactly. So now at this point, they don't have a choice but to give it to him.
Yeah, they're going to. But I like, actually, you know what? I like woken better for this reason. This is why. When he was in TNA, he became broken.
Mm-hmm.
He then refixed himself, came to WWE, and then got rewoken.
Yeah.
So actually, I kind of like this idea that I don't want him to become broken Matt Hardy. I like this idea that Bray somehow reignited this thing that woke him up.
Yeah.
And because he even said, he goes, I've been dormant in this vessel for a year or something like whatever he said for a couple months. Basically saying, when I came here, I let him go. Yeah. And now I'm back. Yeah. Oh, if we get King Maxwell, oh my God.
I don't know the depths of the character like that, but so does Jeff, when he comes back, is he Brother Nero or is he doing his own thing?
I wouldn't be surprised they broke them up and let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
I could see one going to SmackDown and one going to Raw.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
I don't think he needs Brother Nero, and I think
no, he doesn't.
And you know, we both read the story online this week that supposedly Vince is totally on board with this and giving Matt full reign. Yeah. And if you're Matt, you don't want Jeff. Nothing against Jeff, but you've
been there, done that.
You want to run.
Yeah. He never really got the first time around.
But again, okay, I'll go back to this. You've got such potential. You can feud. You're going to feud with Bray Wyatt, which is actually the best feud to start with this angle. After that,
because you know he's going to win.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, you've got. You could do Strowman. You could do. Finn Balor. You could go after Dean Ambrose. I mean, there's so many angles you could go after with people that are quote unquote not all there. Yeah, like him and Dean. Even not playing the full lunatic fringe, just Dean being Dean, going against woken Matt Hardy and having Matt as the heel would be fun. I mean, just antagonizing Dean. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah. I want to see how long, but I hope this Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy thing is a long-term thing. Like I want this to run for a little while. Yeah. Don't run it to whatever the next. It should be
a good 3-month feud.
Yeah. Nice and long. Like WrestleMania, blow off kind of thing. Yeah. So then we had the main event of the evening on Raw. We had the tag team title match between Seth and Dean taking on The Bar, defending their tag team titles. That match was brutal.
It was good.
As athletic as other matches have been, that was just mean and down. Ended with a DQ finish at first. Then was restarted as a DQ. And the minute it went, oh, it's no DQ, I'm like, well, this match is not ending right. And Joe comes out and just obliterates Dean and Seth.
See, and I'm sure everybody thought when he restarted it as no DQ that Seth and Dean would take the titles.
I did.
So,
I'll admit I bought it.
Because 90% of the time, well, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So you restart it benefits the faces, and then they end up winning. Yeah. But in this case,
nope. Joe comes out and just kills people.
He's so over. It's funny.
And I love, again, this is the Joe I love.
Yeah.
It's not a Joe. Joe doesn't attack Roman.
Yeah.
He attacks Roman's friends and then stands there and laughs about it and goes, come on, boy. Come on. And then as Roman's trying to recover, the bar wins and runs out as Joe's standing in the arena, in the crowd going, all right, come on, boys. Yeah. Like literally telling the bar, just follow me. It's easier this way. Just follow me. Which was great. And the look on Roman's face in the ring was like, priceless. What just happened? Yeah. I came out to stop this and it all happened anyways.
That was good. Joe's on top of his game. Trying to figure out where he fits in their long-term.
For Joe?
Because I look at things like, for guys like that, I don't even, like, if it's championship or nothing. You know, for me, you can have good feuds, but like, at what point do you climb the mountain? You know, like you're not gonna be there for 5-10 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, I'm trying to see a scenario where he gets his title and has his run, and I'm thinking projecting next summer, maybe SummerSlam, because obviously Brock's a champion now. I don't see him and Joe fighting at WrestleMania.
No.
So maybe next summer, because Joe is so popular right now with the crowd. Like the crowd's trying to turn him. Face with the Joe chants when he comes out, but
well, Joe's going to kill you is not exactly going to turn people.
Well, no, that when they play his theme song, they start chanting Joe.
Yeah,
along with his song or whatever. Yeah, but I think they want to root for him, but he's just such a badass right now. You know, he's playing that character perfectly.
Yeah, it's great. It was awesome. And then again, Raw wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't the worst show they've had.
For a holiday season, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. For the first week in December?
Despite the 50 minutes of Jason Jordan.
Oh, my God.
Could be better than that.
Before we went to SmackDown, I would like, again, once thank the Kentucky Distillery Company for your Peach Barrel Wheat Ale.
I enjoyed that.
Oh, yours is already gone?
Yeah, man. It's good.
All right. Well, Kentucky Ale, thank you so much. On to Smackdown Live. So we start off with KO and Sammy in the ring, talking about giving an education. Sammy gave us an education. We talked about it last week. Yeah. What's in the ring?
Yeah.
What's ringside and what is not ringside, which I thought was brilliant because a lot of people debated that online afterwards. I think that was great. One of the best RKO out of nowheres I have seen in the last 5 years. KO gave no facial expression.
Sold the hell out of it.
The way they shot it was perfect.
Yeah.
All I know is all of a sudden we see Sammy. We see a shot of KO in the ring looking at Sammy. Yeah. And then Randy comes in and just pops him.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That was great. A good way to start the show. We got to stop being predictable with the opening segments. It's either KO and Sammy or Shane McMahon to start the show every week. We gotta mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Stop being predictable in that aspect. I will say here, gonna make a prediction.
Okay, go ahead.
And we touched on this, I believe, last week, but I believe Daniel's gonna turn heel.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the end of the before we get to the end of SmackDown. There's I got some notes on that. We'll talk about that because the whole end of the match, the only end of the show, directly tied to that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I do want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Then we had what I thought was going to be a joke match, which became a surprise match, which is a New Day versus Rusev and Aiden English. Number one, Aiden English and Rusev win. It was a good match for both.
Surprised the hell out of me.
Exactly. But all four guys look good together. I never thought Rusev is a tag team wrestler, but him and Aiden are actually really good together. Because
surprisingly,
they
have different styles.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. They're almost that style of, I don't want to say like a Hart, well, sort of like the Hart Foundation, in that you have Aiden English, who's the thinner, technical, faster guy.
You have your brute.
And Rusev is just the brute.
Yeah.
So no matter
like
what,
the New Day, you got Kofi.
Exactly.
And
Same
the
idea.
contrast is what makes a good team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I thought was a joke, they gave them the win, and I'm like, these guys could be serious. And I start playing like you do. I start thinking titles. And I always look at teams like, do I want to see them being champions?
Yeah.
Rusev and Aiden as tag team champions, Aiden doing the whole Rusev Day and celebrating the belt would actually be a really interesting little run.
I wouldn't be surprised if they added them to that match.
They already have been.
They did?
Oh, yeah, they were added. After they won.
Oh, okay.
After they won on SmackDown. After they won that match,
So
they were added. It's a four-way.
They're not ready yet.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be right away.
No. I'm just thinking, I'm projecting here. I mean, we're hurting for tag teams.
Yeah.
So, anybody else other than Usos and New Day, I'm all for it right now.
But I was really impressed with how they worked together and how well they kind of merged. And they picked up a win, which is why we watch wrestling. Sometimes a shocking win is fun.
So am I to assume that they've given up on Rusev as a single star long term, or is this just a short term?
I don't know.
Throw it against the wall and see if it sticks type of deal.
I think that's what it is.
Kind of like the bar.
Yeah. I think this is a matter of they took two guys, because remember, Aiden was in the Vaudevillains, and he was a great tag team wrestler.
Yeah.
But he was floundering by himself.
Yeah.
And you took Rusev, who was floundering by himself. Like, all right, well, what do we do with guys who don't do well together?
Put them together.
The bar.
Yeah.
And you stick them in a tag team and say, let's see where they merge.
Yeah.
And very quickly, you're starting to see a little action between these two, and they're getting better in the ring. The 12 days of Rusev bit at the beginning was funny.
Yeah, it was
until it was interrupted by the New Day. But it was quaint, and it was funny. And I'm seeing a side of Rusev that we've never seen before. He seems happy.
Yeah.
He's not playing the I hate you mode. He's playing the
anti-America gimmick that's been run for 30 years.
He's having fun out there. And I think that is showing in his matches.
I think there's no pressure on him right now.
No.
So as a tag team with someone, he's basically trying to elevate Aiden.
Yeah. And Aiden's a good tag team wrestler. I mean, the Vaudevillains in NXT were great, and they squandered them on the main roster.
Yeah.
But in NXT, they were a great tag team.
They were.
So, I like the angry Mojo Rawley.
It was about a long time coming.
It's quieter.
Yeah, that's quieter.
It's quieter. He's not going, hi, boy. I like how he was concise.
Focused.
Yeah. He mentioned, he even mentioned Gronk and got that celebrity pop. He goes, people ask me, why'd I attack him?
Yeah.
Why'd I attack him? You know what I mean? I like the idea that they use the outside world to make him more legitimate.
And he reminded people he won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal
by himself.
So, it's like his turn made sense from a storyline standpoint because he had the success before Ryder got back.
And he's right. Yeah, exactly. Everything he said was totally correct. Because when he was by himself, he was doing great. He was in line for titles.
And then they just stopped.
And then Ryder came back and he became a tag team again. And it suddenly became, we're going to lose every week.
Yeah.
So,
he
played it perfectly.
I can see a bright future for him.
Yeah.
And it's good.
He's a good mid-carder.
His character needed to get serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's athletically, he's as gifted
he's a
as
freak.
anyone in there. I'm curious to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
I want to see him fight someone established to kind of see what he can do in the ring with Bobby Roode or somebody like that.
And not be a squash, be a legitimate.
Yeah.
He's got freaky speed. That's what I think is his biggest advantage. He's got power, but he does have sort of freaky explosive. And that's where the NFL thing comes on. You can see that he used to be an NFL player because his from a stop position to a motion is quicker than a lot of guys in the ring. He moves with speed acceleration I haven't seen in a long time.
And the fact that he's Gronk's friend will work in his benefit in that industry.
Yeah.
They can always use that to fall back on.
Oh, yeah.
So they need Gronk to make an appearance or something.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be around.
Or eventually get in the ring. But that's down the road.
Or drop a people's elbow during a game.
That's right. Or, he'll get suspended for a game. Then we had Dolph Ziggler in the back talking to Baron and taking a total shot at Baron in the greatest way ever, saying, I successfully cashed in my money in the bank. I was like, ooh.
You can tell Baron's like, yeah, F you.
Yeah. Wasn't my choice. Didn't make it.
Thanks, Baron. You ruined my prediction.
Yeah. They've toned down the anti-gimmick Dolph to just angry Dolph.
Yeah.
And this is the Dolph I want.
It's not a gimmick.
He's angry, period.
I read some excerpts of an interview he did where they asked him, how he felt with his standing in the company. He honestly said, "I'm not thrilled with it."
Yeah.
I feel like, and as any competitor should feel like they should be involved in a main event or a bigger storyline. But he said he understands the business and his job right now is to elevate talent. But yeah, he clearly, and I believe we said this, he'll be gone by the end of next year.
Oh yeah, because that's the rumor, is that he not only is on his way out.
Well, remember we broke it before it became rumor.
Yeah,
so that's what we do here.
But he wants to go out and he wants to make sure that he has a career outside the WWE. And he's been working on that for years. Yeah.
His comedy and other things he has going on. He was testing the waters when he realized they were never going to fully get behind him.
Yeah.
Right around that time, when he was on Raw, the anti-establishment, him and Cena, he won the Survivor Series a couple years ago, and he was like the best he's ever been as far as his standing in the company, and then they dropped the ball on it. They didn't capitalize and didn't get behind him, and he kind of fell back after that.
It's sad. He is one of the best workers they've had in years.
Yeah, he really is.
But I will say this, though. He has been there so long, though, if he were to leave tomorrow, he's a Hall of Famer. No question about it. He's a 2-time world champion, a 5-time Intercontinental. He has the longevity they look for in a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Because he's been there so long, he's been loyal.
Yeah.
Then he comes in during that horrible Bobby Roode Corbin match was bad. That was a bad match until Ziggler showed up and decided to zigzag both of them. Yeah. But those were good zigzags, though.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, they were nice zigzags.
Not feeling the Bobby Roode. We've discussed this ad nauseum, but it's just not. The face is not working.
No.
Or I should say, him as a face. It's not working.
Sad. It's sad. Sad. I agree with you completely. It's just not. And
then they picked the wrong guy to feud with, though.
Yep.
A slower Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
That's not who he needs to be in the ring with.
And to give you I'm sure we're going to talk about, to give you some foreshadowing to Monday's show.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about our most surprising and most disappointing people of 2017.
Yep.
Don't be surprised if Bobby Roode's not on my list somewhere. We will talk about that. All right. So next up, we had Natty in the back talking to the girls of the welcoming committee.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Yeah. Natty's just not convincing as a leader, though.
No.
Carmella's the leader.
She's having to. It's like she's having to plead with them.
Yeah.
To listen to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the confidence in what she's saying.
Oh yeah.
Like you're trying to reason with people as a leader. Like you have to demand your respect.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like her character's been like that.
Well,
like her character
always been kind of like that.
Her character never really demanded respect.
Yeah.
And your name can only get you so far.
Or your family name.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just like she's playing to how her character's been developed over the years.
I agree.
Yeah, Carmella's definitely the lead.
Yeah, Carmella's the leader
of that
group. Yeah.
And I can even see a turn there and them getting rid of Natty.
And even the whole, just the interaction, that whole thing was, talking about title chances in matches. And when Daniel came in, and they were talking, the minute Carmella started talking, you watched it shift to her focus.
Yeah.
And when Daniel's like, "Oh, you can be in the match."
Yeah, if you can give me that briefcase.
She goes, "No. I'm not ready yet." What'd she call it, Frank? What would she call it? Briefcase. I can't remember. Whatever.
Yeah.
But she was. I was.
She named it.
Yeah, it was named it. But I thought that was. She talked about getting rid of James Ellsworth and stuff like that. She is their future in a way. Like I see her getting a title run that's going to be significant. Like I don't think it's going to be like record breaking.
It's good that they had then rushed the cash in.
Yeah,
because they're really developing her, like you said, as a leader and establishing her as the alpha of the women's division.
Then we had Charlotte taking on Tamina.
Oh, it's hard to watch some of her matches.
Tamina?
Yeah.
I will say this:
she's getting better than when she first came back.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to for that style to go up with Charlotte. It's like it was like a step behind for me.
But I will say this is for Charlotte, it was an important match in this, and not that I didn't have any respect for Charlotte.
No.
I mean, but Charlotte took a beating,
and
then came back to win that match, and that was
she should have.
And that's the kind of match that Charlotte needed. Charlotte needed to be beaten down, pummeled, and then suddenly she rise up and out of the ashes win that match.
More
which is what she did.
It made Tamina look strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we had the Riot Squad come out. I like this group. You know, Ruby Riot is the leader and the mouthpiece. She's great. You know, Liv Morgan is cute and bouncy.
Yes.
And Sarah Logan has something. Sarah Logan reminds me...
That gimmick has kind of a weird Southern...
I agree.
Godwin sister.
But this is where I come into it, is what she reminds me of, not statue, but the way they're building her is like a female Braun Strowman. In that...
Yeah, I can see that.
They're building her to be the monster in that group. She's the muscle.
Yeah.
She's the one that's going to go out there and kill.
Yeah.
And I like that aspect. Compared to Absolution, which we were talking about, compared the two, I see a lot more upswing for the Riot Squad as a whole.
Yeah.
And as a group to contain themselves. And I'll tell you right now, if you were telling me the ultimate storyline leads to the two groups destroying each other and going against each other, I want to see Ruby Riott, Liv Tyler, and Sarah Logan against each other more than I want to see Paige versus the other two. Or Liv Morgan. Then I want to see Paige versus the other two.
Yeah.
Those three, I think, again, are long-term, and I think they have a lot of upside.
Yeah.
Because they did have... Now, Sarah Logan didn't have a long run in NXT.
Yeah.
But Liv Morgan was there for a while.
Yeah. We saw her on the house show when we went to.
And Ruby Riott wasn't there a ton, but she was there, and she made an impact very quickly.
Yeah.
And she moved up. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. So then we had So this is where I get confused. All right, so we had Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton in the main event. The stipulation was KO is handcuffed to the bottom rope, which I'm okay. I'm going to ask logically. Why was he handcuffed to the bottom rope and not the ring post? Or at least the turnbuckle? Because you allowed him to walk around. That made no sense. The point was to put the handcuffs on so he couldn't.
Stationary.
He was stationary. Yeah. He could still wander back and forth, which is how he got the bolt cutters in the first place.
Yeah.
Why did you... The minute they put it on the bottom rope, I'm like, well, that's just dumb. That's just dumb, period.
Well, you know, the writers are a special group.
Oh my! Do you agree with me though?
Oh, clearly. Well,
you handcuff him to the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Not the rope.
Well, you know.
You might as well put him on a broom and let him stand there with the broom and go, oh, I'm going to walk around.
Oh, boy.
So we found out that we're going to have a tag team match, and this is where I'm just like, okay, it's Clash of Champions. Why are we having a match with no champions? But that's beside the point. Sami Zayn and KO versus Randy Orton and a quote-unquote mystery partner who is now Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah. Speaking of list.
With Shane McMahon as a special referee, and if KO and Sami lose, they're fired, not from SmackDown, from all of WWE. And you talked about the Daniel Bryan heel turn. This is where I saw it. The look on Daniel's face was pure... Wow, you're your dad. You're abusing power just as bad.
Yeah.
You, your dad, and your brother-in-law are all insane.
So he has to take the power back.
I think that's where we're going.
Yeah, and be the voice of reason on the show.
Yeah, he's going to be the heel voice of reason.
He's going to help them win.
Yep.
To save their jobs, and because it creates, it's good for business, basically.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally think it's good for business.
He's going to be the new good for business.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, though.
Mantra. Yeah.
Because because that's...
You can't lose your top top guy.
You can't. And I agree with him. You can't lose... I eventually see KO going to Raw, but I don't want him to go to Raw.
Yeah.
because the matches he can have on SmackDown are so much better.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just don't want to see him over there because he's going to end up writing Roman Reigns every week, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But again, SmackDown was not overwhelming in any way, shape, or form. It's definitely the holiday season.
Yeah, that's what we expected. It was. I'm trying to think. Like, there's really this time of year. There's really no build up that they can really go towards.
No.
We need an influx of tag teams desperately. Now that they've brought some ladies up, I'm hoping after the holidays, for the 25th anniversary show at least, we can get a couple of tag teams to debut.
Hopefully.
And kind of bump that division up. We can only see New Day versus Usos so many times.
Yep.
The Bar versus Seth Rollins ending.
Oh my God, for the 77 times.
So many times we can see that. So wherever where are my guys that are hurt on Raw, the tag team?
The Revival.
They need to get back.
Yep.
We need to get some people called up.
I said Rusev and English seem like their potential.
If we can get the tag team division up to speed, it'll be a great year in 2018.
Yeah.
But right now, it's obviously a slow season.
You know, next week is quote unquote Raw holiday week. So they've got Raw.
So I'm expecting much worse.
Yeah, we've got Raw. We've got Tribute to the Troops they taped this week.
Yeah.
We've got SmackDown. We've got an NXT show they're going to run on USA Network as sort of a preview of the show. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And, you know, they can promote the hell out of it. But, yeah, I expect a lot of holiday-themed matches on both Raw and SmackDown. Oh, crap. This is going to be bad.
Somewhere Irish just took a shot.
Yeah, this is where we're going to get the. This is when we always get the weapons in a box match where it's like we put presents all over the ring, and in the boxes are kendo sticks. So whatever you open, you get to use, and it just becomes
Sanders helper match with the the women with elf hats.
Well,
on
no, okay. At least we won't get that because we used to get that. We used to get Mrs. Claus, in her panties match, and that was just so. At least we won't going to get that this time. But we'll see if we go. I mean, it's December. We know it's not going to. And January obviously picks up, so we'll get excited as the weeks go along.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Kentucky for your peach barrel wheat ale. I liked it a lot.
I did too.
I liked it a lot.
We'll partake in several more of these.
Yeah. When you're ready to put your beer down.
Beer, you're so dumb. You think Absolution is a brand of vodka.
Oh, it's Absolute. Oh, that makes sense.
Well,
Yeah. Head over to vintagepressing.com. Vintagepressing.com where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more. Make sure you head over to Facebook at Beers and Bodyslams Podcast. You can see what we're doing. You can also head over to beersandbodyslams.com to see show recaps and what we're doing and stuff like that.
Follow us on the Untapped app. Speaking of Untapped, I've been on this thing for over a year now, and I just realized there was a feature on there. You can actually go and look up beers and search them in your area to find out where you can buy them.
Yep.
So it's a great app if you want to try any of these beers and see if they're in your areas. Please do so. You can follow me at GoodOLJB.
You can follow me at Mr. Fluffy as I roar towards 1,000. I'm at 880 currently. I will cross 1,000 sometime next year.
You can follow Irish as he drinks on the cruise.
Yeah, that's right.
The Irish O'Leary.
Make sure you tune in Monday. We're going to talk about, good old JB and I are going to talk about our most disappointing and our most surprising wrestlers and performers of 2017. The people that we think have stepped up and we didn't expect them to, and the people that have just sort of floundered in ways that we were surprised by. And then next week we'll be back, and we'll have a full crew next week.
Yes.
We'll have Mr. Irish back. He'll tell us some adventures from the high seas as he was Captain Morganing across the world. We'll talk about Raw and SmackDown. Guess what we get to do next week?
Pick a pay-per-view.
And you get to go first
because for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I know. Because the winter has come and JB has taken over like he did last year because basically it was like all of winter was JB. So,
well, you had the summer. Irish had a week.
Yeah.
The winter's mine.
Yes, that's right. So make sure you turn it down. It says, as always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slam stiff.
You've been listening to the Beers and Bodyslams Podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/beersandbodyslams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.